Good morning, everyone. This is PSY 13 News, and I'm Janae Hilton, your newscaster this morning. Today we are talking about stepfamilies. 60% of marriages in the United States that fail are because of parents. Not because of parents, because of the children involved. So the children might feel like they have to compete with other children in stepfamily, or their peer pressure. So it results in bad behavior, poor academic skills. So today we have a few families, a family here that's going to share their stories, and the child is going to share their experience. Okay guys, here I have Rashonda Jenkins, and she's going to tell us how she feels that her daughter, Brooklyn, is now living with her ex-husband, John, and his new fiance, Stephanie. So, how do you feel about this?
I just think it's ridiculous. They said that I'm an unfit parent, and I am not an unfit parent. They told me that I was unfit and I couldn't take care of Brooklyn, and I just think it's so ridiculous. And you know, and John, I didn't want to be with him anyways. No one said I needed the child support.
So do you feel like there's any pressure put on Brooklyn? How do they feel like you're an unfit parent?
Well, they said that I couldn't take care of her because I work long hours because John left. So I have to work long hours to support my child, but they don't see it that way. They think that I leave her at home alone, but you know, it's just whatever.
So was Brooklyn the main reason why you and John got a divorce?
I wouldn't say that Brooklyn was the reason, but you know, sometimes, you know, she just, you know.
So how do you feel about Stephanie, John's new fiance?
She just thinks that she's better than me, and she's not. Obviously, she's not. I mean, obviously I look better. And I just don't understand, you know. I mean, he can be with that if he wants to, but it doesn't matter to me.
So you guys don't get along? So how do you think this affects Brooklyn? Is Brooklyn acting up? Is her grades still bad?
Brooklyn needs to get herself together. She's been doing okay. She was a straight A student, and all of a sudden she goes and moves with those people, and then all of a sudden she's making D's and F's, and I don't understand. I think it's John's fault.
Okay, so do you and John still work together to get Brooklyn back to how she used to be?
I don't talk to John. He's my monthly. He can just give me money every month. That's all I need from him.
So do you think this is helping Brooklyn? Because at the end of the day, even though you and John are still not together, it's all about Brooklyn. It's all about the children. So you and John acting like this is not really helping Brooklyn.
It's not me, it's John. John and Stephanie, they don't like me, and that's why they took my child away from me, but that's okay. That's fine. Yeah. Hello? John. No.
Okay. Well,
no,
next
I don't have time for this.
Sorry,
it's not my day.
Next week we'll have Brooklyn, and we will
day.
talk to her about this situation.
It's your day.
Hi everyone, again it's Janae Hilton with PSY 13 News, and today we have Brooklyn sitting here. She's going to talk on her behalf of the situation with her.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Smith.
With her step-parents and her new stepmom, Stephanie. So Brooklyn, how do you feel about the relationship your mom and your dad used to have?
I thought it was so beautiful. I thought it worked out perfectly. I'm sorry. I thought they were having such a good time, and you know what, my mom didn't tell you guys this part, but he cheated on her and left her for Stephanie. I just thought the relationship was working out so well.
Okay, have you expressed these feelings to your parents?
I tell them all the time, like, Daddy, why don't you get back with Mom? I don't like Stephanie. I really hope she dies.
Oh. Okay, so who do you stay with mainly, your dad or your mom?
Well, for whatever reason, my dad got custody, so the majority custody. So I stay with him and thinking of Stephanie.
But why don't you and Stephanie get along? What's wrong with her?
She's a homewrecker.
Okay.
Show enough.
So does she try to help you and benefit, like get you back, on track, even though
I don't know who said I was off track. Did my mom tell you that?
Oh, yeah,
She's
she
crazy.
mentioned it.
She don't understand things sometimes, but I'm perfectly on track. A little D here and there is nothing. It's nothing.
So one of the things about Stepfamilies is the child, when she's in school, like if the child's in school, they usually have get poor grades and stuff. And your mom mentioned before you used to be an A student, and now you get C's and D's. So is the family stress show the decline in your grades?
I guess family stress could be dealing with that. You know,
And another statistic, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, is that children that are women, usually partake in more alcoholic and behavior use. So is this something that you do?
well, I party sometimes. Don't tell my mom.
So is this a lot of stress? Does Stephanie have children? How do you compete with
They
the
got
other
that
children?
little gremlin in there.
Your party? What type of mess is this?
I don't know what she's talking
John's
about.
fault.
I mean, he lets me do whatever. But
So do you compete with children? Stephanie's child?
I remember when that little gremlin was born, and I said, my daddy is now being taken away from me, and I'm gonna have to share all my stuff, and I'm gonna have to do everything, and all this burden is gonna be on top of me to be an older sister, and that person's not even my sibling because of this home record. I don't claim that person.
So your dad's and your mom's divorce was a little bit more recent. So do you see in the future all this being better, or is it just going to be like this forever?
It's gonna be like this forever. They really don't like each other now. But I know one thing. I'm never, ever gonna get married.
Well, you shouldn't let your parents' effects have something to do with
And
you.
I'll never,
Everyone's
ever
different.
allow myself, if I do have a child and get married, I'm never going to get a divorce and have, and then just be a stepmother or I'm never gonna do it. This is,
Brooklyn, you shouldn't feel that way. You know?
life is just so hard.
Everyone's different. Now we're going to go to commercial, and when we come back, we will have Stephanie. Okay, now we're back, and we have Stephanie and John here to speak on their behalf of the situation. Okay, Stephanie, so how do you feel about this situation? How do you feel about Brooklyn?
Well, I think Brooklyn is just a really nice girl, you know. She has a lot of issues, though. She has a lot of issues.
And John, how are you dealing with the animosity from your ex-wife?
I mean, honestly, I just try to ignore it as much as I can and continue on with, trying to raise my child and trying to live my new life.
I heard that some of the behaviors that you're letting Brooklyn do is go out and party. Is this true?
I mean, honestly, she's grown. She can act how she wants. As long as it doesn't interrupt the house, she can do whatever she feels like.
But your daughter's only 14 years old. Going out to party and drink is not something she should be doing.
I mean, honestly, I did the same thing when I was her age, and who would I be if I stopped her from doing that same thing?
Stephanie, sorry for cutting you off. Stephanie, are you trying to cut down Brooklyn's behavior?
I would love to. I really would, but I understand the fact.
Stop trying to act all proper in there. Stop trying to act all proper.
What? You better calm down. Excuse me.
So does this happen all the time, mostly?
Yes, you see how the problems, the issues she has. I really want to step up and be a parent, but I know that I could never be her mother, even
It
though
ain't never gonna work.
dearly
I don't
love
like you.
her.
I don't like you, Skate.
Hey, you watch that language, young lady. You're not gonna talk to my daughter that way.
Look here.
You're not gonna talk to
You
your
don't
daughter
know
that
me.
way.
You don't.
You're not gonna.
Okay, everyone, just calm down. John, how do you deal with this?
I'm sorry. Was I supposed to be paying attention? Because I'm just tuning this out.
Is he normally like this? Does he normally just let it all happen?
Yes, he just lets everything happen. He doesn't get his feelings out there. We don't communicate. And so I really don't know what's going on with John. I mean, you can see he lets her go out to parties, and she's too young for that. I mean, look, she spreads her legs. Spreads them. And
How do you feel about her talking about your daughter like this?
Honestly, right now, in this interview, I don't appreciate the way you're bad-mouthing my daughter. All right? Because I know she goes out and she's partying, but you don't have to say all that.
Exactly. You need to keep your comments to yourself.
Oh, whoa.
Comments to yourself.
Come on now. Let's not have all this hostility. I'm just me and my wife trying to talk about our issues right now.
Have you guys ever thought of talking to a counselor about this, or?
well, I would like to. That would be the proper thing to do, but I don't know how John feels about that. And
John, do you see this getting better in the future?
I mean, I honestly don't see a problem in the first place. You know, I think everything's working out fine. I think everybody's just stressing a little too much.
Well, I want to thank the Smith family, Brooklyn and Brashonda, for coming out to interview with us today. And that's all for PSY 13 News.
Bye!
He got power, man. You ain't never seen it like this. Power, man. Words make the